Everything makes a good investment. Before you retire, there's something you need to. Everyone talks about saving for retirement, building wealth, and planning for the future. What most people don't realize is that the 5 years before you retire are unlike any other time in your financial life. This is the window that makes or breaks everything. Investment, the decisions you make here will shape not just your bank account, but your freedom, your peace of mind, and the way you get to live for the rest of your life. Think of it like this. You've been climbing a mountain for decades, saving, investing, working hard. But the last stretch before you reach the top is where most people slip. One wrong move and years of progress can vanish. On the other hand, with the right strategy, those same 5 years can set you up for a retirement that feels safe, stable, and rewarding. So today, let's break down exactly why these final years matter so much, what you must do to protect yourself and make the most of them. Because if you get this part right, you won't just retire, you'll retire with confidence. ChatGPT said that the 5 years leading up to retirement are not just another stretch of time. They are the most crucial financial years you will ever face. Up until this point, small mistakes could often be fixed by working longer, saving more, or riding out a market downturn. But once you're staring at that 5-year mark, the margin for error shrinks dramatically. Every choice you make, whether it's how you invest, how you spend, or even when you decide to step away from work, has a permanent ripple effect on the rest of your life. This period is often called the retirement red zone. For a reason, it's when you're the most vulnerable, and yet also when the biggest opportunities for security and peace of mind are on the table. Imagine spending decades carefully saving and investment, only to see a large portion wiped away by one market crash just before you retire. That scenario happens to countless people every single year. And the painful truth is that there isn't enough time to recover if it happens during this critical window. If the same crash had happened 10 or 15 years earlier, you could have adjusted your strategy, contributed more, and still stayed on track. But in these last 5 years, the game changes. The clock is ticking and every dollar matters more than ever. Investment. This is also the point where people tend to underestimate how their expenses will shift. Many believe they'll naturally spend less in retirement, but the reality is often the opposite. Travel, healthcare, family support, and lifestyle upgrades add up quickly. If you go into retirement without a clear understanding of your spending needs, you risk draining your savings far faster than you anticipated. Everything makes a good investment. These 5 years are your chance to get brutally honest about your budget and align it with the lifestyle you truly want, rather than the one you're hoping will somehow work out. Another overlooked aspect of this window is the opportunity to pay down or eliminate debt. Entering retirement with high interest credit card balances, a lingering mortgage, or personal loans is like carrying extra weight just as you're about to finish a marathon. The sooner you lighten that load, the smoother the finish will be. These final years give you the leverage to make those changes while you still have consistent income. The bottom line is simple. The 5 years before retirement aren't just about preparing your finances. They're about locking in your future. If you approach this period with intention, discipline, and smart decisions, you'll set yourself up for decades of stability. But if you drift through it without a plan, those same years can turn into the single biggest regret of your financial journey. ChatGPT said, Mets, one of the most powerful decisions you'll ever make in the years leading up to retirement is when to start claiming Social Security or pension benefits. On the surface, it might seem simple. After all, makes a good investment. You've worked hard, you're eligible, so why not take the money as soon as it's available? But this decision isn't just about starting a check investment. It's about setting the tone for your income for the rest of your life. Taking benefits too early can lock you into a permanently reduced payout, while delaying could give you a significant boost in guaranteed income every month. The difference can add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of your retirement. Social Security, for example, allows you to claim as early as age 62, but your benefit could be reduced by as much as 30% compared to waiting until full retirement age. On the other hand, and if you delay beyond full retirement age up until age 70, your benefit increases every single year you wait. That's not just a temporary bump, it's permanent. Imagine giving yourself a raise that lasts the rest of your life, one that also adjusts with inflation. That's the power of timing. The same logic applies to pensions or retirement distributions. If you rush into drawing them down before you've structured a clear plan, you could face not only reduced income, but also higher taxes. Too many people underestimate how tax brackets interact with retirement withdrawals. For example, pulling from a traditional 401k or IRA at the wrong time can push you into a higher bracket. Everything makes a good investment, meaning you're paying more in taxes than you need to. These 5 years before retirement are your chance to coordinate when and how you'll draw from different accounts, balancing taxable and non-taxable income sources in a way that keeps more money in your pocket. Another critical aspect here is longevity risk. People often underestimate how long they'll live. If you retire at 65, there's a real chance you'll spend 25 to 30 years in retirement. That's not a short chapter. It's a whole second lifetime. It's making sure your benefits are optimized means you're less likely to run out of money down the road. The peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a reliable, predictable income stream is priceless, especially in your later years when going back to work may no longer be an option. The key takeaway is that timing isn't just a financial choice, it's a lifestyle choice. Investment. The decision of when to claim benefits determines whether you spend retirement stressed about running out of money or confident that your income will cover the life you want to live. Investment. Those who take the time to understand and optimize this decision during the 5-year window before retirement end up with far more freedom and security than those who rush into it. ChatGPT said, as you approach retirement, managing risk becomes less about chasing returns and more about protecting what you've built. For decades, the strategy may have been to invest aggressively, take on some volatility, and trust that time would smooth out the bumps. But once you're within 5 years of retiring, time is no longer on your side in the same way. Investment. A major market downturn in this window could slash your portfolio and permanently alter your retirement plans. This is why risk management in these final years isn't optional. It's essential. One of the biggest mistakes people make is keeping the same investment strategy they had in their 30s or 40s. Back then, a stock market crash was painful but manageable because you had years, even decades, to recover. In the 5 years before retirement, that luxury disappears. This is where the concept of sequence of returns risk becomes critical. It means that if you experience a bad market early in retirement, investment, while you're also withdrawing funds to cover expenses, the damage compounds. Your portfolio shrinks faster, and even if the market recovers later, you're left with less capital to benefit from that rebound. Protecting yourself from this risk often involves shifting part of your portfolio into more stable, conservative investments while still keeping enough growth potential to outpace inflation. Debt management is another form of risk that many people overlook. Entering retirement with high interest loans, large credit card balances, or even a significant mortgage adds pressure to your monthly cash flow. You want your retirement income to cover your lifestyle, not to be eaten away by interest payments. The years leading up to retirement give you one last opportunity to aggressively tackle these debts while you still have steady income. Think of it as buying peace of mind in advance. Insurance also plays a key role in managing risk. Health expenses are one of the most unpredictable parts of retirement, and without proper coverage, they can quickly drain your savings. Evaluating your health insurance options, considering long-term care coverage, and ensuring you're protected against unexpected medical costs can mean the difference between staying financially secure and facing a devastating setback. Finally, diversification should not be ignored. Relying too heavily on one investment type, one stock, or even one source of income is dangerous. The goal is to spread risk so that no single event, whether it's a market downturn, a company collapse, or a change in tax law, can derail your retirement. The point is simple. In these 5 years, your mindset has to shift from wealth building to wealth preservation. You're not just protecting dollars, you're protecting decades of your life from being dictated by circumstances outside your control. By managing risk wisely, investment, you give yourself the freedom to enjoy retirement without constantly worrying about what the next market headline might bring. ChatGPT said when it comes to retirement investment, people often think the numbers alone will determine success, how much you've saved, how much income you'll have, how long it will last. But the truth is, your lifestyle choices in the 5 years leading up to retirement are just as important as the size of your portfolio. The habits you create, the adjustments you make, investment, and the spending patterns you establish during this window will set the tone for the decades that follow. Retirement isn't just about surviving financially. It's about living in a way that brings freedom and satisfaction without the constant stress of running out of money. One of the smartest things you can do in this period is to get crystal clear on your spending. Most people have a rough idea of their monthly expenses, but retirement is different. Without a paycheck coming in, and every dollar you spend has to come from your savings, benefits, or investments. These 5 years give you the chance to run a test drive of your retirement budget. Investment live as if you were already retired. Track every expense, cut unnecessary costs, and see if the lifestyle you want aligns with the resources you have. Mint. This practice not only gives you confidence, but also highlights areas where small adjustments can make a big difference. Lifestyle choices also include where you live and how you spend your time. Downsizing your home, relocating to a more affordable area, or even paying off your mortgage early can dramatically lower your monthly expenses. These decisions made in the final years before retirement, investment, can stretch your savings further than you realize. On the flip side, if you choose to maintain a high-cost lifestyle without adjusting for your future income, investment, you're setting yourself up for financial pressure down the road. Health and wellness play a surprisingly big role in this conversation too. The habits you form now, eating well, staying active, managing stress, can reduce the likelihood of costly medical bills later. Think of investing in your health as another form of retirement planning. It may not show up in your bank account, but it can save you tens of thousands of dollars and improve your quality of life in ways money can't buy. Finally, it's important to recognize that lifestyle isn't about deprivation, it's about intentionality. Retirement should be enjoyed, but it should be enjoyed within a framework that keeps you financially secure. These last 5 years are your opportunity to practice that balance, learning how to prioritize what truly matters while cutting away what doesn't. Ultimately, the lifestyle decisions you make in this short window determine whether you step into retirement with confidence and peace of mind or with uncertainty and stress. By aligning your habits with your financial reality now, investment, you give yourself the gift of freedom later. And that's the kind of retirement everyone should be aiming for